Hey guys, uh, one thing I'm gonna point out real quick. I'm not gonna say yo ho ho sensei as an intro. I'm not gonna say that every day. I cannot do that. But, um, your games is what I call myself still. Good. Even though my channel says something different. I'm also working on an intro and outro. So yeah. Mm. Well, this is what if Deku was Katakuri Part 2. Last video got a lot of good reception. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and I'm already at 160 something views, almost at 200. This might be the next What If Goku's Overpowered, but except it's not Dragon Ball Z. It's My Hero Academia. What If Goku's Overpowered? That video had like 700 views in like the first week. So yeah, the video got popular fast. Fast as lightning. We left off with Luffy winning, not Luffy, with Deku winning Sports Festival. And one change, Inko's dead. Midoriya goes to school with Kirishima and Mina instead of Bakugo, since Midoriya left Bakugo's school when Inko died. So yeah. Also, Kirishima has one for all in this one. I mean, Midoriya, All Might told Midoriya he was kind of overpowered for one for all. Like, Midoriya would actually destroy everyone if he had one for all. Mina, she would have gotten one for all if her quirk wasn't as good. But Mina, she already had a physical body to handle 100% of it. And Mina kind of like reawakened her quirk to the point where she could actually, it's like a devil fruit awakening. Anything she touches will turn to acid. She can manipulate that. So Mina can manipulate all forms of acid, even her own. Alright, we go to story now. This video is going to be a little short since I do have school in like 15-20 minutes. I'm just going to go over the hero killer arc. So, Stain. Midoriya, Kirishima, and Mina. They got selected for interns at Gran Torino's agency. And All Might strictly told Gran Torino if one of them's gonna go, all the other two have to follow suit. So Gran Torino was okay with this, and like Midoriya walked through the door first, Gran Torino was like, "Whoa, that's a giant in front of me." Since Midoriya is like 15 feet tall, so Midoriya is huge. Like a lot of Midoriya's problems with doors are his shoulders as well. So Midoriya just has really wide shoulders, and he's just huge. So the picture is Midoriya's hero costume, and he does have the pelican eel mouth. So yes, hero killer art. And once like Midoriya walks through the door, Kirishima and Mina are trying to push him fully through it, but Grantino's door fits like people like under 7 feet. That's it. So Midoriya is struggling to get through the door. Grantino says, "If you're who I think you are, put your head down and I'll help you in." Midoriya's like, "Why? Just do it." Midoriya puts his head down. And Grantino will just like rocket kick him to the ground. Midoriya's whole body goes sliding, and goes falling to the ground as Kirishima and Mina can just like walk over Midoriya's body and just pull him inside. Midoriya's shoulders did destroy some of Grantino's door though. So he does need me to fix that. And Kirishima says, "I take it that boy's the user one for all." Kirishima was like, "No, they don't know I'm the user. I didn't really want him to be the user one for all since if someone did manage to get him on the villain side, he could probably take over the world if he wanted to." And Kirishima says, "He's really not that powerful. I knocked him out with one kick." Gray says, "You didn't knock me out. My head just hurts." Kirishima says, "Oh, I went all out for that kick." And he gets up rubbing his head saying, "Thank God most of my body's made of muscle." And Midoriya, he doesn't have fat in his body. Like, anytime there's fat in his body, it's replaced by mochi. So Midoriya's body is like 99% muscle, like 90% muscle. That's what Midoriya's body is at. Like, the other 10% is mochi. Gran Torino can ask what their quirk can do. And Mina and Midoriya, well, Midoriya, if actually, Mina's probably more adept in her quirk. Midoriya is just more versatile in his. Because Mina like, kind of like awakened her quirk twice. So Mina says, "Hi, I'm in Ashido, and I'm pretty sure I'm the strongest quirk user here, but yeah, I guess that's it." And Ranger says, "Strongest quirk user, huh?" Kishimoto will say, "I only got one for out of pity, but I'm still pretty strong." As Kishimoto will harden, go to red, right, unbreakable. Ranger says, "I can see that. You giant. What's your quirk?" Ready to put his hand up, puts his hand up and says, "Mochi and Pelican Eel." And Midoriya is like is on his knees right now. Like Granjino hurt his head. He doesn't have a concussion, but Midoriya is his head is ringing. Granjino says, "Well, Mochi and Pelican Eel. That's probably the most useless quirk I've ever heard." He sees Midoriya just explode and then just wrap around Granjino, suffocating him, saying, "I watch your words." Granjino just says, "All right." Kirishima says, "Midoriya is just more versatile with his quirk than anyone else, since he made it to the point where he can turn into his to Mochi." And Midoriya says, "I can also store stuff inside me." Kirishima says, "Wait, what weapons do you have inside you right now, Midoriya?" Midoriya like reach into his stomach, pull out a Gatling gun, a sword, a knife, and then a pistol. Granjino says, "How do you fit all that inside your body?" And Midoriya does not know how he fits it all inside his body either. Like the Gatling gun is at least 6 feet for him. The Gatling gun's huge. Midoriya just says, "I don't know how I fit all that inside my body." As Midoriya just puts both of his hands out, and then just absorbs the guns and knives again. Midoriya just has all those in case like his quirk is not enough, but bullets are. Bullets or cuts would be enough. If like Midoriya's quirk is enough, he has bullets and knives. So yeah. And fast forward 2 days. Grinchino is surprised that Kirishima can already use 1 for all 100%, and is beating Gran Torino. Like, Kirishima can use 10% on 1 for all and still beat Gran Torino. Like, Gran Torino cannot beat Kirishima unless Kirishima goes below 10%. He did try to fight Mina, but like each time he got near her, she summoned like a wall of acid, and he was scared of melting his hero costume. And Midoriya, like, once Gran Torino hit him, Midoriya's body got used to the hit, so Gran Torino can't really affect Midoriya. And Midoriya just like scares off Gran Torino by biting at him. So yeah, we go to when everyone's on the bus with Gran Torino, Midoriya, Kirishima, and Mina are on the bus. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. Midoriya's first name is not Izuku in this one. Midoriya's first name is Katakuri. So Katakuri, Midoriya. So, Katakuri, Mina, Kirishima, and Gran Torino on the bus. On the train, I mean. That's when the Nomu will come through with a hero bleeding out on his back. With like a hero bleeding excessively, like trying to hang on to his foot. And Gran Torino says, "Midoriya, can you handle this?" Gran Torino's about to get up to jump at it, but Midoriya is already like up, like in front of the Nomu, and just crushes its head. Midoriya just stomps on it. And like, he just grabs the hero and says, "Allow me." The hero just like grabs Midoriya's hand and pulls him up, and he gets pulled up. And the hero says, "Whoa, you crushed its head. You killed him." Midoriya says, "These things are not human. They're called Nomu. They're ex-humans." And Midoriya kind of explained what Nomus are to Gran Torino and the heroes. Some of them already know what they are. Like Midoriya just simply explains, "These are dead humans, or ex-humans that had multiple quirks injected into them to the point where they don't have a brain. It may look like they have one, but all they do is take orders from one guy, and they can't think or act on their own. Someone has to tell them how to act. So they're basically just brainless slaves." And the heroes will be like, "All right, cool." That's when Midoriya says, "All right, Kirishima, Mina, let's go." So Midoriya just jumps out of the hole in the train. Kirishima will do the same, and Mina, she's gonna flaming acid on the hole, but harden it. So yeah, Midoriya's running around the city, and then he sees the fire. Midoriya's gonna go to that area, and then when he arrives, there's like one Nomu about to smash like to like a hero. Midoriya just summons like one giant mochi fist and just flattens the Nomu, killing it basically. Kirishima's gonna see like another Nomu. Then he goes to Red Riot and Breakable and just like kind of like does like a spinning axe kick and just to the point where it actually cuts the Nomu in half. The Nomu can't regenerate by being cut in half by at lightning speed because it kind of destroyed the Nomu cells to regenerate by being cut in half. Mina's gonna just the Nomus aren't dead, but they're on the ground, so it's gonna take a while for them to recover. Mina, like she's gonna take down the injured Nomu, like the one that Midoriya flattened. She's gonna turn to acid, fling the acid Nomu at the one that Kirishima cut in half, destroying that one. Never did kill one Nomu. Midoriya, Kirishima, and Mina are going around destroying Nomus. In a matter of 2 minutes, they destroyed all the Nomus. Then Midoriya, he says every hero in the vicinity moves, so he doesn't destroy everything. Then Midoriya sees the flying Nomu and just like forms one giant he forms I'm gonna say like a four-sided battle axe and just out of his arm and just flings at the Nomu. Like a rocket fist. As it hits the Nomu, Midoriya just like clasps his hands together since his hands can't regrow if he shoots them off. Then the axe hand will start spinning, then it just expands to the point where the Nomu just exploded, so the Nomu can't regenerate anymore. All the heroes will get away from Midoriya as he just meditates and just splatters everywhere, putting out the fire. Midoriya will reform as all the mochi is cleaned up and the fire's out. Then Midoriya's going to use his observation haki to sense Ida, because he realizes Ida is going to Hosu and his brother was attacked by Stain. Midoriya's going to sense Stain, and sense like Ida and Stain, and this time Todoroki found Ida first. So they're trying to fight off Stain, but it's not going too well. Midoriya's gonna say he's gonna go after Ida, but Mina and Kirishima want to come. Midoriya just says, you two hang out here with the heroes. Give them our report. As Midoriya just rushes off. And when Midoriya sees Stain about to like cut off Todoroki's hand, like this, Todoroki is about to get his head cut off by Stain, and Ida is like on the wall bleeding. Like Stain had already stabbed him in the stomach at one point. When Midoriya sees an opening, he just slams Stain into a wall, knocking him out. And Midoriya's gonna see Ida as he just like summons Mochi to like at least just like stick Ida's skin together so it's not bleeding as excessively. There's Midoriya's gonna pick up Stain, Ida, and the injured hero, and Todoroki, and just rush towards like an ambulance. Midoriya gets them there, and Midoriya knocked out Stain. Like Midoriya's punch kind of just shattered Stain's spine, so Stain cannot walk anymore. Like Midoriya ended Hero Killer Stain in one punch. Midoriya was enraged enough to actually coat his arm in red hockey, so he's lucky he didn't kill Stain. And since Midoriya won the sports festival, no one believes that like people did think Endeavor was given the credit, but when they hear who was involved, they're like, the kid who won the sports festival, why would you try to cover up that Stain beat him? We saw how he acts. Like Stain would probably lose to him, so everyone figured out that the heroes were just covering up so Midoriya didn't get backlash, or UA didn't get backlash. Instead, UA got more popular by letting Midoriya fight Stain and winning. One thing I forgot to go over, Midoriya's hero name. His hero name's not going to be Deku. His hero name's actually going to be Sweet Commander. Yeah, Sweet Commander, since Katakuri is a Sweet Commander, I'm pretty sure. And Midoriya's made a mochi, so sweets. So when everyone hears Midoriya's hero name, they think it's kind of funny, but fitting, so Sweet Commander. Bakugo's the only one that thinks it's stupid. Alright, heroes versus students. Midoriya is going to be on the same team as Kirishima, since he's going to be on the team with Bakugo. And Bakugo is actually wanting to see what Midoriya can do fully, since he's only seen like glimpses of what Midoriya can do fully. And when they hear it's All Might, Midoriya doesn't hesitate. He's ready to fight. Then more heroes are announced to fight with them. Aizawa and President Mike had to fight with them. Midoriya says, physically I'm already stronger than All Might, so those two are only going to be a nuisance. That's what Midoriya will say, like Bakugo. I know how much you want to fight All Might, or to prove you're stronger than him, so I'll give you this one. Me and you double team All Might, but I'm not going to help you as much. But I do want you to take out President Mike at least. I'll handle Aizawa. You know, Midoriya will say, "I'll handle it. I won't press it. Mike, can you just handle All Might for a little bit, or at least try to hold him off to the point where I can help us escape?" And Bakugo can kind of already guess Midoriya can probably handle Aizawa and President Mike. So he says he'll distract All Might, and then Midoriya has to at least help him escape, since Bakugo can already guess he's not stronger than All Might. You guys remember what I said? All Might did train with, like, Midoriya, Ida, All Might trained with Midoriya, Mina, and Kirishima. So Small Might is actually a little buff. And because Small Might is getting stronger, All Might's buff form is getting stronger as well. It's just his time limit isn't decreasing, but he still has a time limit. So All Might can actually probably be equals with Midoriya. He can be considered an equal, but that's it, just not stronger. So, yeah. Once the exam starts, Midoriya just runs around the city as fast as he can, looking for Aizawa first, since Aizawa would be the biggest problem. He uses President Mike first, then Midoriya just I don't have time for this. And he just pulls out a knife and just throws it at President Mike as fast as he can. So he's flinging his hand back. I thought President Mike's flinging Mochi, really? Then he sees a knife coming at him. He says, "Wait, what?" And he barely dodges that. And when he cuts his nose, he's like, "God, that kind of hurt." And Midoriya's already in front of him and just decks him, knocking him out. Midoriya blitzed President Mike easily, knocking him out. And Midoriya jumps from building to building looking for Aizawa. Then Midoriya just kicks in the door and just runs down the stairs since he can feel Aizawa's presence near him. So Midoriya's going to use his observation to find Aizawa, and finds out Aizawa's one building behind him in a window. Midoriya's going to sneak down the stairs. Then he he finds a window near Aizawa's. Midoriya just holds a Gatling gun outside the window. I was like, when did the Gatling gun get there? And All Might knows Midoriya can store weapons inside him. So when Aizawa said that over the mic, I said All Might just yelled, "Run!" And the Gatling gun starts firing at Aizawa. And Gatling gun's full of mochi. It's not Midoriya doesn't put bullets in a Gatling gun. It's just full of mochi. The mochi can harden and hit you harder than a bullet, though. And when all the mochi starts splattering Aizawa onto a wall, Aizawa tries to cancel out the quirk, but he realizes it's not a quirk. Midoriya actually has a Gatling gun with him. So once Aizawa's fully stuck to a wall, Midoriya jumped through the window and put Aizawa's head up against the wall and just hardened the mochi. Where Aizawa was actually stuck on the wall. So Aizawa's legs are covered, arms are covered, his neck isn't covered so he can breathe. Aizawa's going to try to cancel out Midoriya's quirk at first, but Midoriya's just going to grab Aizawa's head and just hit it against the wall, knocking him out. Bakugo's going to call Midoriya on the comm, saying he can't handle All Might much more. So Midoriya's going to jump, look for All Might. And then Midoriya just pulls out a sword, and this sword looks like Mihawk's, crossblade. So Midoriya's going to jump down, and then he just hits All Might in the neck with the hilt of it. That staggers All Might because of Midoriya's pure brute strength. So All Might and Midoriya kind of just going blow for blow now. Midoriya realizes All Might's been training his buff might form as well. And this way Midoriya's going to summon his giant club with two hands and just bash All Might across the city. And this doesn't decrease All Might's time limit since he can take blows from Midoriya like that. So Midoriya's going to pick up Bakugo and just jump through the exit before All Might can actually hit them again. And Bakugo actually gets the credit for holding off All Might, because Midoriya hit him once. Midoriya gets credit for taking down two heroes that couldn't beat All Might. And Bakugo gets credit for actually having the balls to go toe-to-toe with All Might. Alright, the next thing is Force Training Arc. Midoriya is on the bus. Mina actually has donuts for Midoriya, since Midoriya always eats donuts. And everyone actually asks Midoriya why he does this. That's because Inko would take him to a donut shop every day after school if Midoriya did good. So yeah, Midoriya just has a whole box of donuts and just pouring the donuts in his mouth. Shino will reach into his backpack and pull out two more, and Midoriya just does the same thing. Momo's gonna chime in saying, "That's not healthy, Midoriya." Midoriya's gonna reach into his backpack and pull out his own donut box. He just checks it to Momo, saying, "We're doing forest training. We're doing training. And I can only guess we're training our quirks. And donuts, they do give you a lot of fat, and you make objects out of the fat in your body. So eat." Everyone asks if they have any more donuts. Midoriya has 4 more in his backpack. Midoriya's backpack is a duffel bag. And most of it's donuts. Midoriya's gonna hold his duffel bag, egg and say, no more. And everyone just hears like a jelly donut exploding in Midoriya's backpack. So yeah. The whole bus, Midoriya's holding off like a horde of of people that want donuts. Midoriya's just like decking and kicking people so they get away. And Momo, she has a small crush on Midoriya. Like, all the girls have a crush on Midoriya, it's just, they don't like his mouth. Like, no one likes his mouth. Momo, also Mina don't care about it. They're like, it's cool. So Midoriya can bite through steel. Like Midoriya has a very strong jaw. When they get out of the bus in the middle, Midoriya says, wait, no. As the bus starts driving away, Midoriya just uses Mochi and sticks his hand to it, saying, get your ass back here. And he starts pulling the bus towards him again. Pixie Bob, I believe her name was, summons like a giant golem as it just smacks Midoriya. Then, to everyone's shock, the giant earth golem arm broke once it hit Midoriya's body. But Midoriya's arm did kind of get severed, so Izawa did drive away. Midoriya said, damn it. He just picked up the earth golem and just chucks it towards the camp. And Pixie Bob and Mandalay are like, oh, that kid's a beast. So Midoriya picks up, Midoriya has enough strength to hold all of Class 1A on his back. Midoriya will pick up all of Class 1A and start rushing through the forest. Midoriya is still rushing very fast. Like, Midoriya's average speed is lightning speed. That's Midoriya's, fastest is lightning speed. Midoriya, with everyone on Class 1A on his back, Midoriya can rush at the speed of a bullet. So he's dodging the hits all the time. And by the time Midoriya gets to the camp, it took him about took him about 30 minutes to get to the camp. And Lily and Pixie Bob are like, you almost beat the bus here. Midoriya to slow down and say, this just drops everyone. And Neda just rushes to the bathroom. Everyone Class 1A is thanking Midoriya, but then they see the giant earth golems rushing at them. And Midoriya's going to pull out the Gatling gun, and this time it has hockey infused mochi in it. So Midoriya's firing that at the golems, destroying them. And Midoriya just opens up his stomach, he lifts up his shirt, and the Gatling gun comes out as Midoriya just starts firing out of Midoriya's stomach. So yeah, the earth golems are destroyed. I'm gonna fast forward through it. We're gonna fast forward to the spa day. Everyone is shocked at Midoriya's body. Midoriya is just very well toned. Everyone except Kirishima is shocked, since Midoriya doesn't really change around anyone else. Kirishima is Midoriya's protective thing, I guess. Midoriya will just get dressed in class while everyone's in the locker room. Midoriya's not really comfortable changing around people. Midoriya is very shy. And Neda's about to try to climb up, but Midoriya, he's not thinking of anyone else except Mina. So Midoriya will just use Conqueror's Haki, knocking out Mineta, making him fall to the ground. And then Midoriya just wonders, what is beyond that wall? And everyone can see Midoriya starts blushing insanely. Kishima says, Midoriya, you aren't going to. Midoriya just jump and just grab one hand. Midoriya's gonna take the quickest peek ever and just come back down with his nose leaking blood everywhere. Saying, I've never been happier. As he just falls into the water. Kishima says, oh god, you can't swim. As he just helps Midoriya out of the water. So yeah. One fast forward to the villain attack. Midoriya's in the forest, and then he sees the blue flames. Midoriya starts he can see his hands are just sweating insanely. Some of it is actually mochi coming out of his body. The mochi is actually just being destroyed. Midoriya says, alright, this has to end quickly. So Midoriya summons a giant, 5 giant fists. And he just expands them into one, he combines them into one giant hand. And he just makes it explode all over the forest. Class 1A already knows to hide. And it actually gets Dobby in the first shot. So the fire is already put out by Midoriya. Midoriya's running through the forest, and then he remembers, Koda wasn't at the dinner. So Midoriya will use his observation hockey to find Koda. Midoriya's just jumping in the forest, then he finds Koda. Muscular wants to hit Koda, but Midoriya will just grab Muscular's fist, saying, I wouldn't recommend that, as he starts crushing Muscular's hand. Muscular will try to use all his strength to get off Midoriya, but Midoriya is crushing Muscular's hand still. To the point where actually Midoriya rips off Muscular's arm actually, and says, you done? Well, Muscular will just be surprised that a kid is just beating him. Muscular's body is still to its max, so Midoriya's like punching at it, and then it's going like Midoriya's caving in Muscular's muscle fibers. And after about 3 hits, Muscular's on the ground, knocked out. And Koto's like, "What? You beat him that fast?" And that guy killed my parents. They're 2 heroes. Midoriya's gonna laugh and say, I'm sorry to laugh, but All Might even has glorified me the next #1 hero, because my strength can't compare to him. So, regular villains like this are easy work. And Mustard will appear trying to shoot Midoriya. Bullet will just bounce off Midoriya's head, as Midoriya will grab his head and say, "Ow, damn it." I'll pick up the bullet like a ball. He's gonna pull it Oogie and just chuck it at Mustard. Then it goes straight through Mustard's goes through Mustard's stomach, and then it hits like the tanks in his back, making them explode. And Mustard passes out due to being exposed to his own gas, because there's too much gas for like Mustard to handle. Midoriya doesn't just make his hand like a giant club, then infuse it with as much hockey as you can, and just like smack it in the air. And the amount of like hockey in the club just makes it go blowing back. Midoriya already beat 2 people, and like Shigaraki told Muscular and Mustard to be a team since they could probably handle Midoriya as a combo, but they were deadly wrong. Tetsu and Kendo are gonna run up trying to get like Mustard. They already see like Midoriya chucked a bullet through him. Like, what'd you do to him? But it will say, that guy right there shot at Midoriya. The bullet bounced off, so Midoriya picked up the bullet and chucked it through the guy's stomach. Like, you chuck a bullet? I shot a bullet? Midoriya says, I chucked a bullet. I shot a bullet. Yes. Tetsu is gonna say, wow. And just say, alright, come help us down there. Midoriya's gonna run through the forest, just finding villains and Nomu. Then he sees the Nomu about to cut Momu and the guy that can infuse things or just make things stick together. Midoriya's gonna just form one arm to a giant like club as it just smacks. Then he smacks at Nomu, and like Midoriya is actually full of rage, so he doesn't realize he's leaking hockey. And hockey will actually just make sure the Nomu is just like eradicated in the top half. So Midoriya actually destroyed the Nomu out of pure rage at a cellular level. So yes. By the end of Force training arc, a lot of people a lot more people were arrested. Because Class 1 was training harder to catch up to Midoriya. Who was it? Tokoyami. He's not he was out of control still, but just not as bad. He could still like reel in Dark Shadow. It's the point where actually Shoji had to knock out Tokoyami, since Tokoyami would absorb Dark Shadow, but Dark Shadow would just reemerge each time. So yeah. So people that were arrested. This time, Mustard was arrested. Muscular was arrested. The guy with the teeth. Spinner. Since Class 1A, Ida just straight up just kicked Spinner in the neck, knocking him out, and kind of just broke Spinner's neck. So Spinner is paralyzed from the neck down. Magna was arrested. And yeah, so 5 people were arrested. The only people left are Dabi, Twice, Mr. Compress, and Toga. Sharky is very disappointed that even the Nomu got beat. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward to, I guess, actually no, I'm gonna leave it off here. I'm already late for school, so. If you guys enjoyed this part, sorry it's so short, but I have school. I'm probably gonna mark this as a 0.5 or something. And I'm just gonna be a regular part. I'm gonna upload part 3 in an hour. School ends in school ends in 2 hours, so I'll mark it. So I'll make a new one later. If you guys like this video, have a good day, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good afternoon for me.